We'll get to the wrestling stuff in just a moment, but first, I wish to be serious for a little while. Now, if you don't want to see peace and harmony on Earth, please scroll to the next chapter or to my next video. I wish to address our so-called world leaders. Now, they all talk about their strength and might because they can push a button or make a decision with a stroke of a pen that shapes the lives of countless millions of innocent people. All the while they are pontificating and filleting each other or just thumbing their noses at each other in their carefully crafted suits and have meetings that seem to go nowhere. They dine on the finest food their nations can serve, but meanwhile, there are people all over the world looking to escape oppression and war. I don't care who you are. Trump, Netanyahu, Zelensky, Putin, whoever's in charge of Hamas, whoever rules the Palestinians, or even our own Mr. Albanese. All world leaders, end all conflicts now. Now, I've always said that none of you are stupid enough to start World War III because that war would obliterate the earth. But there are enough people suffering at your collective hands. To those who say I'm too naive to believe in lasting peace, really? How hard is it to sit down and hash out your differences without resorting to killing each other's peoples? Millions of ordinary folk do this every day. We are supposed to be the intelligent species. War is the stupidest thing mankind has ever invented and must finish now. G'day wrestling mates, welcome to episode 49 of If You See Kayfabe. I'm your wrestling mate from down under, I'm Southern Joe. If you're new to this show, thank you for giving it a go. If you've been watching for a while, you may have noticed some changes in recent episodes. Hence, it's time for audience participation. Now, I've been trying to make the show more dynamic by featuring less of me on camera and more pics and even some moving pics. I've tried injecting some subtle humour as well. The audience participation part of this time is please let me know in the comments section below, of course, what you think of these changes. Any feedback is welcome. Plus, I'd love to know where you're watching the show from. I'm still trying to secure interviews for the show, even an Indian enhancement talent to make great guests. One such guest I was hoping to have on this episode was Bill Pearce, a guy who still wrestles indies today at 63 and wrestled for WWF and the original ECW as Chris Michaels. Now, he didn't respond to me because I guess he's got a lot on his plate, but I've seen our mutual wrestling mate, Evan Ginsberg, pushing the barrow for him. Here's part of an article that Evan shared from Queen's Post, an online paper from his hometown of New York. Astoria's Shillelagh Tavern is set to host a variety show on July 12 in honour of US Army veteran and former WWF star Bill Pearce, who recently spent almost $10,000 so that his beloved dog Pudgy could get life-saving surgery. Pals for Pudgy, a 6-hour variety show hosted by musical artist Jess O'Lantern, will take place from 1 to 7 p.m. on Saturday, July 12 at Shillelagh Tavern, 47 to 22 30th Avenue. The event features performances from singer-songwriter Sean O'Shea, the New York band Borderline Mainstream, Gary Carmichael, the drag king of New York City, and much more. Admission is $20, but organisers said they will also accept larger donations at the entrance. Anyone who cannot make the show is also encouraged to donate to the event's fundraising page. Pearce, a 63-year-old veteran who performed in the WWF during the 1990s under the stage name Chris Michaels, said his family's beloved 12-year-old lab, Mix, Pudgy, fell ill over Memorial Day weekend adding that X-rays later revealed that the dog had a tumour in his spleen. He said vets informed him that they needed to remove the tumour in order to test for cancer, but said the procedure would be costly. They gave him a choice of going through with the procedure or pay $50 to have Pudgy put down. For Pierce, who rescued Pudgy when he was 5 years old from the North Shore Animal League on Long Island, there was never any choice to make. At a cost of $7,000, vets removed the tumour from Pudgy's spleen and found that it was benign. But Pudgy faces a long road to recovery, leading to more medical bills. Pierce, who still works 12 hours a day in a blue-collar job, said he cannot take on the financial hit of Pudgy's care alone, with bills climbing towards $10,000. Now, so as a wrestling fan and an animal lover, I feel privileged to push this event from the other side of the world, even if my reach is not the greatest. Now, before we get to the main event, let's push a barra closer to home for me. Now, my fave promotion, Alpha Pro Wrestling, is having their 3 monthly cards coming up. Thursday Night Fights, number 9, will be on July 17. The card gets going from 7 p.m. Tickets start from only $10. Saturday, July 19, there are 2 Alpha shows. Alpha Energy is the matinee show starting at noon. It's a free show. But that's followed by Ruthless Rumble, a card that starts at 7 p.m. Tickets also inexpensive, and the main event features a 25-man Rumble.
I'm the escape artist Matty Wild, and you're watching If You See Kayfabe.
Now, for those of us who enjoy kayfabe-type dream matches and or remember Pro Wrestling Illustrated's dream match articles, here is the second dream match scenario pen. But first, the following is fictional. There is no inside knowledge, rumour or innuendo attached to this scenario. Please enjoy. Kenny Omega and Randy Orton were nearing the end of their respective careers. Omega has been a stalwart and an original main eventer for the upstart AEW, and Randy is a third-generation WWE star, yet the pair's paths had never crossed. That was until a chance meeting in an airport lounge. While both were waiting for separate flights, the two bonded over a couple of drinks and found they had more in common than just a squared circle. The two exchanged phone numbers and promised to keep in touch. Unbeknown to all but a few of their closest family members, Omega and Orton secretly planned to shock the world. Having seen the success of Ric Flair's last match, RKO and Omega sat down to a secret meeting with Conrad Thompson. There, they would hash out an announcement so unfathomable that it would far surpass any other event in wrestling history. Conrad wheeled and dealed behind the scenes and made sure every charity that the participants wanted to benefit from this event would be accommodated. He called a press conference for a fateful Friday midday outside the stadium where the match would take place. Conrad did his usual suspenseful opening and introduced Kenny Omega. Kenny proceeded to cut a promo about the successes he has had in the ring in AEW, New Japan and elsewhere. Then he paused, said that as his time in the in-ring competitor winds down, he wants to face one special opponent while they both had the opportunity. Instead of introducing his opponent verbally, he extended his arm sideways and pointed to the left of stage. Right on cue, Randy Orton's music started to play. The assembled media was confused. Surely Randy Orton, a WWE lifer, is not getting into the ring with Kenny Omega, but sure enough, out strides the apex predator, resplendent in a tailored suit. Conrad takes over and says that, yes indeed, 3 weeks from tomorrow, in the stadium behind him, Kenny Omega and Randy Orton will headline a card where all proceeds go to a bunch of nominated charities. Just then, Omega steps forward and says, "Guys, I have the biggest surprise of all time. For this match, for the first and last time, I will have this manager in my corner." Orton, genuinely stunned as he did not know about this, neither did Conrad, by the way, said, "What, Tony Khan will be your manager?" Kenny said, "Nope. It's someone from your past. Someone instrumental in shaping your career." Orton was confused. Genuinely. Just then, Elvis Presley's song Kentucky Rain starts playing. Conrad and Orton looked at each other. The normally jaded wrestling press marked out immediately as they saw Jim Cornette saunter on stage. What the hell is happening? They all thought. Cornette grabs a mic and says, "Look, I still can't stand this sack of snake feces, but this is for a bunch of charities I deeply care about. This event is taking place near enough to my hometown, so there's no plane ride involved. Conrad, I'm still not that fond of you either, but this is for the greater good. For one night, I'll be Kenny Olivier's manager. No grade school girls, no blow-up dolls, no cosplaying. Kenny, I will finally make you into a wrestler. I will guide you to your greatest victory. A win over a superstar that I helped mould early in his career, Randy Orton." The assembled throng were genuinely shocked. The tweets were flowing so fast throughout the sports entertainment world that at one stage, X went into meltdown. The match itself was indeed a classic. Omega showed that he only needed minimal flipping and was technically sound. Orton put on a classic show and built the crescendo for the finish. Orton was about to set Kenny up for an RKO as he flung him into the ropes. Just as he did, Cornette got up onto the apron behind him with the exceptional speed and timing. This was noted as being especially unusual given that Cornette was in his 60s and had two bad knees. Cornette swiftly connected with his tennis racket to the back of Orton's head, who went down, and Omega took advantage and stole a pinfall. RKO was upset at Cornette and lunged at him. Omega cut him off and wheeled him over the top rope. Omega's music played. He shook Corny's hand and Jim raised Omega's hand in victory. As he did that, Jim used his racket once again, this time with a swift gut shot on Omega. Now, while the shot was protected, given Omega's recent battle with Victor, whatever that was, it seemed to be quite stiff. Cornette grabbed the mic and said, "I always win, but I still wanted revenge for all the silly crap you have perpetuated in your career." Jim admitted on his podcast that for the one and only time his shot on Kenny was him going off script. He apologised for going off script, but not for the gut shot. Well, there you have it. Hope you all enjoyed that. Please like, subscribe, share, comment. Basically, do all the things that every other YouTube show asks you to do, but do mine first. This has been your wrestling mate from down under. Keep an eye out for the half-century episode coming up soon of If You See Kayfabe, but for now, hooroo!